Martin Luther King Jr. once said, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today, I'm going to be reacting to We Three by Lifeline, and this is a request from Eric Neal, my amazing Patreon, but also someone who I go way back with. We have known each other since we were young, although not in a really personal way. It's weird. So I know Eric, but now I get a deeper insight into his feelings and thoughts. So I'm really excited to get to know someone better that has been in my life for so long. Eric is one of my amazing Patreons, so thank you so much for your support and for believing in me. If you haven't had a chance to check out my Patreon, make sure to do so. Link is in the description. Every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach. You get priority song requests. You get to jump on multiple Zoom calls with me every month and just hang out. You get content that I'm only posting over on my Patreon, a sneak peek at the content I'm posting on the channel, personalized stuff, and so much more. So make sure to check that out. Link is in the description. Every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach. I have never heard of Lifeline. No idea whatsoever what this is. And I feel like that is just an ongoing theme. But we have had several artists in the past couple of months that I have known, but this is another blind spot for Amanda. So let's see what I'm getting myself into this time. What are you getting me into, Eric?
Can you call my lifeline? 'Cause I give up. And I'll raise my white flag and just give in. 'Cause I'm barely breathing, got no reason for grieving. It's just how I feel. I'm just trying to be real. Wish I could turn the switch on, leave it on all damn day long. Get it tattooed on my arm just because they told me not to. Wish I could turn you all off, say it without going soft. But we all know that I'm not one to tell you you have got to. Should've.
I don't know why I've never heard of this band because it's right up my alley. It's absolutely something I would have listened to, so I'm not sure how I've missed this gem, but thank you for introducing me to it because at first I was thinking, okay, this is a boy band of some kind, but no, it just seems to be rock, a little bit softer rock, but rock nonetheless. There have been so many times in my life where a well-meaning person has asked me what's wrong, and the majority of the time I say some variation of nothing, or I'm fine, or I just blow it off. And that has nothing to do with me wanting to lie. I don't want to lie, but because this well-meaning person doesn't understand that sometimes my symptoms can go from 0 to 10 in an instant with absolutely no prompting, and most people don't understand that. By the way, I really highly suggest if you're trying to reach out to someone, instead of saying, how are you doing, or are you okay, that you ask some kind of lead-in question like, what have you been watching lately, or what did you do today, or something that they can't just respond in a very passive way. Be more specific. That's very helpful to someone who is conditioned that when someone asks how they're doing, they just have a very instant response, an instantaneous response at the ready. But if you ask something else and it throws off those anxiety symptoms and their automated response, you might be able to get a lot deeper with that person. But that's how I took the part that said, got no reason for grieving. That's just how I feel. That's how I took that, is sometimes there really is no reasoning behind it. It's just a feeling that I can't describe or explain. It's just there. I remember one of my friends actually finding me once crying in my room, and they asked me what was wrong, and all I could do through my sobbing was say, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why I'm crying, but it just seems so overwhelming and so crippling. And then there's the ignorant people who tell you to get over it and that you should get over it. And you're just desperately wishing that you knew where the off switch was because you want to get over it. You want to do that and you wish that you could do just that. But I've also wished that there was an option in real life to disable people's comments like we have here on YouTube. Wouldn't that be magic?
Shiver, feel it, take it, break it, make it what you want. Lose it, choose it, find it, mind it, bruise it, use it how you're gonna. Shiver, feel it, take it, break it, make it what you want. Lose it, choose it, find it, mind it, bruise it, use it how you're gonna. Can you call my lifeline? 'Cause I give up. And I'll raise my white flag and just give it, yeah. 'Cause I'm barely breathing, got no reason for grieving. That's just how I feel. I'm just trying to be real. I'm just trying to be real. Wish I believed the things I pray. 9 times out of 10 it's a cliche. What I wouldn't give for replay. 2 a.m. and still no sleeping. The numbers and figures don't add up, but I'm not really sure if it matters. 'Cause lady life's full of disasters. 5 a.m. and still no sleeping.
There comes a point where you don't have the energy to fight your own thoughts anymore, let alone stand up to other people. And you find yourself thinking, can we just get this over with? Even with yourself, even when you're alone, you just find yourself thinking, okay, come on, anxiety symptoms, let's just do this. And this is a point where a person is saying, can you call my lifeline? Because they just don't have the energy. They're too exhausted to search for the number. And something I often tell people is, if you see that someone is struggling, do not ask them to give you their hand. Say, take my hand, offer your hand. Don't ask them to do something. Don't ask them what you can do. Just do something, and then you can ask, is there anything else you need? But it's so much easier for me with my mental health if someone offers something, and even if it's the wrong thing, we have somewhere to go from. But if someone says, what can I do? My brain is just completely and utterly freaking out because I already have so much stacked on me that I have absolutely no idea how to now figure out your role, because I'm struggling to figure out my own. I'll do whatever it takes though, and those times just help me. I'll do what it takes. I'm gonna try, but I really am needing help, and that's what I'm hearing here. Please just make the pain stop is what I'm hearing, and that's a very common theme, obviously. You know, I still pray from time to time for clarity, for direction, for strength, or just in gratitude. And I know that's kind of weird as a non-believer, but I wish more than anything that I did believe that I was being heard or that my words made a difference. I know I've said this before, but I'm not a non-believer out of rebellion or stubbornness. I'd love to be wrong. In fact, as a replay, you know, we all have regrets. That's across the board. We all have regrets. We all have major regrets. And it's like depression puts them under a microscope until you're so consumed with your past and all of these regrets that your future isn't even in your peripheral, let alone your focal point.
Shiver, feel it, take it, break it, make it what you want. Lose it, choose it, find it, mind it, bruise it, use it how you're gonna. Can you call my lifeline? 'Cause I give up. And I'll raise my white flag and just give it, yeah. 'Cause I'm barely breathing, got no to be real. I'm just trying to be real. Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to be real.
And that's what you should be trying to do, is be real. You should be surrounding yourself with people that are open to hearing your struggles and to being there for you. You know, Eric, I think that we have a lot more in common than we might have previously thought, because I can definitely resonate very deeply with the lyrics of this song, and he wears his emotions very much on his sleeve. I like that. You can see it, you can feel it. It's very soulful. I like that a lot. The countdown of hours during the night was, and sometimes still is, just absolute textbook Amanda's anxiety symptoms. I'll go to bed at 10, and if I have any concept of time, my brain will sit there doing the math of, okay, if I went to sleep this very exact second, then I would get 7 hours and 21 minutes and 16 seconds of sleep. And it will continuously be doing that throughout the night. And I no longer have clocks anywhere in my bedroom. That's including my phone. And that's actually a new one. The phone is a new one, but I started charging my phone outside my bedroom door, and I can still hear the alarm, but I just don't want to be urged to look at the clock or to touch my phone while I'm in bed. And that can have a big difference on your sleep, not having electronics and stuff in your room. And you can come up with a million excuses, but you can also come up with a million solutions to make that work. It does make a big difference. But the assessment of life being full of disasters, how the mind tends to catastrophize when you're in the state of mind, whether it's reality or not. Your mind is catastrophizing and everything is awful. The paint on the walls is awful. The food is awful. People are awful. Everything's awful. And you're just seeing everything through this filter of catastrophe and through this filter of everything being bleak and dark and negative, kind of like in The Wizard of Oz, how everything's gray, everything's black and white. But the problem with this is when something truly difficult does happen, if we live in this state, it's going to cripple every aspect of your life, because you haven't worked on building a happiness bank. You have no toolbox to know how to cope with these things, nothing to turn to. There's nothing really there to turn to. The pressure to be perfect line. I want to say that I don't know if somewhere along the line someone influenced me, but strangely enough, I think a lot of it had to do with watching the show Nip Tuck, that strive for perfection, this self-imposed drive to constantly be the perfect mom and the perfect friend and the perfect girlfriend and the perfect person here for you guys. My house to be perfect and tidy and organized and simplified and streamlined all the time. Everything has to be perfect all the time, and that's just not realistic. But when we are in that state, things can be very black and white. So it's either, okay, we're crippled with depression, or we have to be perfect, and there's no in between. There's no opportunity to be human. And that's what we should be striving for, because perfection doesn't exist. So we should be striving to be the best version of ourselves, and that looks different to each person. So my 100% might look different than your 100%, that might look different from Eric's 100%, that might look different from a rich person, celebrity is 100%. Everybody's 100% is going to look different, because they're going to have different experiences, backgrounds, resources, etc. But the important thing is that you're striving for your 100% and defining what that means for you. So overall, I really enjoyed this. This will probably go on my personal Raise the Vibes playlist too, because it does have a very uplifting quality to it. And I like when everybody started singing and harmonizing with him, because that was just that reminder that there's people just like him, people that are struggling as well. And once we realize that, like we do here, and we can connect with that, it makes it a lot easier, because nobody should be trying to navigate all these difficult things without community, without support. And as I always say, good, bad, and crazy, share your story here in the comments. Share your struggles, share your achievements. That's how we shatter the mental health stigmas, by talking about it and creating community where we can all come and feel safe. Share this video. You never know who might need to see it. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad that I got this deeper insight into you, and I will see you guys soon. I love you so much. Mwah.